Last month, I helped PT education business save 5 hours a week using an all-in-one Notion database. In this video, I'll show you the exact system that we used. First, we'll look at the biggest issues that coaches face when managing clients, and then I'll show you exactly how you can build this too. Coaches often have scattered systems that slow them down, but they need smart systems that streamline their delivery. You might have Trello for project management, Google Sheet for tracking leads, and Typeform for your check-ins. And that really gives you two main problems. Firstly, losing sales opportunities because your delivery is just taking too long managing these different systems. And secondly, wasting time managing tools rather than focusing on connecting with clients, which is the most important element of your business. But there is a simpler, faster alternative, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about now. You want to be able to see all of your client information in one place, not scattered across different systems. And this Notion database is exactly how you can do this. So at the top, we've got all of your clients listed out, and we can include all of the information such as the current RAG score on a red, amber, or green system, when they started, when they've got assessments coming up, any program updates, when they're due to renew, when their payment date is, what check-in day they have. That's the top system we have, is all of your clients outlined. You can include a picture of them. You can see what status they've got and contact details really easily in a single view. But connected to this, you've then got tasks. So any kind of key projects you've got going on, associated tasks. Maybe you need to onboard a new client. Maybe you need to just check in with someone quickly about a comment which they left on a session. Maybe you need to add something to a program. You can associate that task to the client really easily. And in a second, I'll show you within each client's profile how this all breaks down. But you're going to be able to see all the tasks, check-ins, and payments all in a single view. You've then got the check-ins. So whenever someone checks in on the system that you use, it will then pull it into the system too. So you can see really easily all of your client check-in data in a single view rather than having to log into a different system to find when that check-in was done and losing track of when people have checked in and who maybe you have to follow up with. You can see it all right in front of you. You've also got things like call notes. So if perhaps you've had a call with a client, you can extract the transcripts from that video and also extract those notes. So you've got a kind of unified view of all those check-ins, the calls, the onboarding information, their intake form, payments, all in a single view. And then at the bottom, we've also got their payments. So here we've got, for example, any failed payments, any successful payments, whether that's an upfront payment or subscription based, you can have all the payments in one view. The alternative to having this is that you'd obviously have something like Trello for managing a client, a task tracker like a Google Tasks, a check-in system like in Typeform, call notes inside of something like Otter, Fathom, your payments inside of Stripe or Go Cardless, which you can still have, but you can then pull all of this into one place so that you can easily manage your clients more straightforwardly, and you're not going to let information slip through the cracks. The clients get a much better sort of system, a much better follow-up process. You can deliver a much higher quality coaching experience, and they always get what they need at the right time. Let's go and have a look at this client, and you can see exactly how this is all going to look. So at the top, we've got the status, the lead source, and when the profile was created. We've got their client details, so contact details, their current RAG score, who the coach is if you've got a coaching team, if onboarding's been completed, and that can be automated, so it can be ticked once the onboarding's been successfully completed, how long they've been on the program for, and that extracts from start date to the current date, whether they've had a testimonial submitted or not. So again, you can either do this manually or you can set up an automation to follow up with that client to make sure you're getting a testimonial. Their date of birth, just remember to give them a happy birthday message, when they started, when their first assessment was, when you need to update their program, when their renewal is for their payments, if they have left the program, when that was. So you can again see all of that, and you can look at things like client lifetime value, things like how long the average client stays on the program for, what the patterns are between those who stay for longer and those who don't. Is there a sort of relationship between common trends within check-in data you see and how long someone stays for, or how frequently they are in contact with you in the early first sort of 2 to 3 weeks and how long they stay for. And all of that information is super powerful because it's going to allow you to extend customer lifetime value, increase client experience, increase the likelihood of reviews and referrals, and ultimately grow your business, as opposed to having it all scattered everywhere. You've then got all the check-in data logged here. So first of all, when their check-in day is, when their last check-in was, and also all of those check-ins listed out. So you can then see by clicking on this, their last check-in, which is super helpful. Every check-in that they complete then is going to be logged within unified view. Also, all of their call notes. Let's say you wanted to look at their Kickstart call notes. You could go back and that transcript will be automatically populated within here because you can record inside of Notion. As soon as that call starts, whether it's on Zoom, Google Meet, whichever platform you're using, you can click start transcribing inside of here, and that will be automatically linked to this client's profile again. And then finally, we've also got all of their payments and tasks at the bottom. Let's say with the tasks, you might want to add it to that database within the main profile here. So you've got these tasks to do, but obviously it connects it with what's called a relational link to this client. So then once you go to the client's page, all their tasks are going to be linked out here as well. And then once they're done, you can obviously update the status to complete, and then that will obviously show as a completed task for that client. But if we just go back to the payments, the really beneficial thing with this is you can see all of the successful payments, but any failed payments too. So you might, for example, if you've got a high volume of clients, for example, you might lose track of who are those kind of clients who perhaps more frequently fail on payments, because that can sometimes be a sort of red flag for churn or for potential issues in the future. So you can know that again by quickly scanning through. You might see like a really kind of A-grade client who you're looking through their profile. They've checked in consistently. They haven't really missed any check-ins. Their call notes are positive. They've been communicating well. The tasks associated with them are generally kind of more program update focused rather than kind of firefighting. Their payments have all been successful. And again, you can see all of that in a single view versus maybe a more problematic client where they haven't been checking in. They have kind of ghosted you a little bit. They've perhaps had a few failed payments. And all of that can just be seen in a single place again. So the value of this can't really be overstated. It means you can see every piece of information about your client in one view rather than having to log across multiple different platforms, which ultimately is going to give you a much higher quality experience for the client. You're going to focus more on the most important thing, which is delivering exceptional coaching, which is ultimately the most important thing in your entire business. And then ultimately means that you're going to get better reviews, better referrals, and can grow your business because you've got the right systems in place to see everything rather than losing track of information. So if you're interested in this type of system, perhaps you're struggling with client management or you just want to level up your coaching systems, then drop the word Notion below and I'll get in contact and we can talk about how we can implement this into your business.